So when I refer to apps, what I'm talking about is you could be looking at web-based applications or like native Android applications on mobile devices. You convert users to sign up, or whether you're looking to monetize your existing users and so forth. With Google Play Store, you're looking at a lot of things around app quality, like average rating for your app. I think anything over a 4.0 is really, you're starting to really get up there in terms of quality. If you're under a 4, it's good to kind of understand why your app might be getting lower ratings. One kind of really important thing to do that not all developers get a chance to do is look at the feedback you're getting from your users in the Play Store and give feedback, like replying to comments or going back and aggregating that feedback so you can find what the sources of problems are. And one really nice thing about the way feedback replies work in the Play Store is, as a developer, if you reply to someone's negative review, say, and they're like, feature X is broken on my phone. Another key area is looking at how do you keep the app experience light, whether you're looking at, on Android, say looking at having a smaller APK, which will increase your downloads and be able to make updates much easier for your target users. And also looking at kind of the quality of how do you keep your mobile experience light if you're doing like a web-based application. Now looking at web-based apps, one thing that I found really helpful is page speed tools. So if you've used the page speed tools that Google's put together, there's a whole package of them. They're all about making your user experience, making your web experience faster and also lower bandwidth, which means not just that your users are going to be happier because things are loading faster, it's going to lower your costs of serving since you're not having to serve as much content, and the cost for your users to consume it as well. So one of my favorite tools to use out of this set would be PageSpeed Insights. You can just go to that website on Google. There's the URL in the upper right corner. You can type in the URL of your website. It immediately breaks down the feedback on a set of actionable tips, like you can use lossless image compression on these set of images and save, say, 200K every time somebody loads your homepage. There's a whole, but it's a very comprehensive set of items that it goes through, and it looks at both, what can you do to kind of reduce the speed, reduce the size of what you're serving and serve it faster, and also things you can improve in the user experience. And then it breaks down tips for both mobile and desktop, so you can get a feel for how to test that across the two platforms people might be consuming it. In addition, there's also a plugin you can use with Apache or Nginx to be able to do some of these optimizations on the fly. What are the support models that really work for developers? How can you get, when you're trying something new out, how do you get the best answers possible? One area that's really helpful is Stack Overflow. So there's a lot of Android community support in there, a lot of support on the different Google platforms. And if you're looking to kind of immediately ask a question, get a good solid set of answers across developers, I recommend Stack Overflow quite strongly. In addition, we've been publishing more and more content on YouTube. So the Google developer site, developers.google.com, has a lot of great information. It's kind of the root source of all the documentation around our APIs, as well as additional information and studies. But the YouTube channel is a really great mix, not just of content from like the big events like I.O., but also some of the series that we've been producing lately, series like Game On or Dev Bites, local language content. It's really one of the best places to go for kind of a good stream of updated content that you can go through and get tutorials and get specific demos. And obviously another key area for kind of increasing your app quality right off the bat is looking at design of your application. There's two kind of ways to look at it. One is like which design patterns that you're using, and the other one is looking at which, how you test that design out with your target users. Continue making changes based on the feedback. And if you're doing this testing with your target users, the great thing is you get this feedback before it ever goes into the Play Store, it goes live on the web, and you have a chance to really improve it, which again will help your ratings or your engagement on the web. I really am a huge fan of using Google Plus to manage your beta testing communities. If you look at the developer console that Play has, you can actually set up your beta communities and link them to your beta releases that you're doing through the dev console. And if you're doing it on the web, it's extremely simple to set these up. I've seen kind of very effective developers. They have, say up to about 100 people in their beta community. Each of them are kind of representative of the target market. And then giving them a chance, doing an announcement to the group every time there's a new release, looking for feedback. And the great thing is, because it's in Google+, it's not going to, kind of all cluttering up your inbox. And people can see each other's replies, responses. People can +1 feedback they agree with. They can post disagreements with things they don't like. And it's a really effective way just to kind of gather that feedback together and make it all transparent. I participated on a number of these, and they've worked extremely well. And then you can kind of keep pushing out new versions, responding as you develop, and iterate up. And then looking at how do you increase the number of installs if you're dealing with an Android application, getting more and more installs. Obviously, there's looking at app marketing, but there's also, with your advertising, but there's also some free services you can use to kind of increase the uptake of your application. So if you've already got a large web presence, using one-click installs for your website can be a really powerful way to drive installs.